So, hello and welcome back everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about the user experience. I'm going to talk about what is UX design and how you can understand UX design from someone who has no knowledge of it. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of examples. I'm going to show you how user experiences, can be seen, in day-to-day life, and how you can also try to find user experience based things around you as well. Okay, so let's start with a little bit of an introduction and let's see what I'm talking about. Let me actually share my screen now, and then we get start. Perfect. Okay, so now that you see my screen, okay, now we can see that we have this thing. Let's get started. Now let's start with the first question. What exactly is UX design? Design that focuses on how people use a product. Okay. So the first and the foremost goal for us is to have a knowledge of how users usually interact with the product. And what does that mean? Okay, let's say you take an example of a laptop. Okay, your users are interacting with your laptop or their laptop actually in a very different way. Okay, there can be users who are using it for education. There can be users who are using it for business. There can be users who are using it for day-to-day life, or watching YouTube or watching Netflix, or that's it. Okay, so I mean, you need to understand how people use your design or use a product, and you need to break it down step by step. Let's look at an example and see what I'm actually talking about. Okay. So, if you see the screen, okay, we have an OS of early 1970, okay, which was Commodore 64. I was not even born by that time. And we have the Mac terminal, which is 2023. So this is like, this year's Mac terminal. And you can see what happens is like both of them have a lot of resemblance, okay. The reason for that is like earlier computers were not really made for everyone, okay. They were made for specific programmers, developers, were capable enough to use them. So even making a file or loading and opening a document was quite a big task. Okay, and that's what made them quite difficult to use for new users. Okay, people were not able to make the best use for them. Okay, and that's why it was very restricted to use these computers. Now what happened is then Apple introduced the first ever visual interface. Okay, Apple was not, this interface was actually, when Steve Jobs left the company and, he was running his own company named Next. So this was back from that time. But if you have a MacBook, or if you worked on a MacBook, the current MacBooks also have the similar sort of OS. Okay, so that's the best part. I mean, but if you see, the way humans deal with a file is the way even this file system works. Okay. So if you have to create a file, you just right click and create a file in your laptop. Okay, and if you actually like in physical presence, when you hold a file, you put them in a folder, you arrange them, and you put them in documents. And if you don't need them, you just put it in trash. Okay, and that's what happens over here as well. If you see, everything resembles how humans actually interact with the file. Okay, and that's what the best part is, and that's where UX come inside. Okay, the UX part comes inside when you want to understand and you want to make the user feel very natural to its habitat. Okay, if you're working in an office, you know that you need to work on files and then you need to put them in the right doc folder, and then if you don't need them, then you need to put it in the trash can. Simple line to line, point to point user experience broken down into steps and then also transferred into a computer based visual interface. Exactly what we see in today's life, of course. So this is what happens, and let's see, but how do we plan this up? Okay, and how you get to know how these things work. So we need to understand and break it down into three key features. Okay, that's what I feel. Okay, the first one is consider the context of how user will interact with the product. You need to set the context of how your user will interact. Okay, what language is he used to, what are sort of things he's used to, and what sort of things he is comfortable with using as well. Okay, so the first point is going to be like you need to understand, okay, how the user interacts with the product. Second is going to be how your user needs and goals are set. Okay, what does that mean? That means that you need to understand that when your user, okay, is waking up in the morning, his first goal is to check his emails and check what the work he is pending on, and by the night the same laptop is going to be used for watching movies or watching Netflix. Okay, then it's going to be a different thing altogether. And third one is going to be the experience. Okay, how does your user experience rely on milestones? So every touch point that the user sees, okay, the way going to open the laptop, the way he's going to, create a new document, the way he's going to, work with a new document, and the way he's going to type as well. So all of these things need to be broken onto small steps, and then you can map it out in a much more efficient way. Okay, I gave you a very glimpse and very little idea of what exactly UX is, but this is a very introductory part, and again, and this whole idea is to give you what exactly happens in a UX. Okay, in the next video, I'm going to talk about more and help you understand how you can break down all these theories even in deep details as well. So, coming back on the camera. Yeah, so that was all for this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you all in the next one. Till then, happy learning and peace.